Candidates adjourn committee.
Please, please, please.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
The Bucks are back home to kick some nicks.
Lopez had a notion to shoot the three, instead takes it down the lane, rams it home with a two-hand jam as the lane parted like the Red Sea.
Our coverage starts tonight at 6 with Bucks Shoot Around on your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 11 o'clock. I'm Jessica Tighe. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, March 28th. Your top story, schools remain closed over lead in Milwaukee.
I'm Adam Roberts in for Greg Matzik. Changes coming to the world's largest museum complex.
Checking out your forecast today, we're still dealing with some light rain outside. Then it's going to be partly cloudy, windy, and warm. Our high today is 72. How about that? But speaking of the wind, we're looking at wind gusts up to 35 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, very mild and windy. We'll dip down to 54 for our low. Right now, it's 51 degrees in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, 3 Milwaukee public schools will remain closed as lead remediation continues. The Milwaukee Health Department and MPS closed Starnes Early Childhood Center, Fernwood Montessori, and La Follette School on March 17th. All 3 schools are in different stages of painting and deep cleaning, which is expected to continue next week. Now, because Fernwood and La Follette serve as polling locations, the Milwaukee Election Commission is going to move voters to newer areas of those buildings away from the impacted spaces. Remediation and cleaning work will be paused on Election Day.
Speaking of that election decision, Wisconsin, April 1st is right around the corner. And as synonymous with Election Day as the candidates themselves in the state superintendent race, school referendums.
Candidate Brittany Kinzer says the state funding formula needs to change promptly.
Schools are operating with limited resources, and taxpayers are concerned and tired of actually paying the referendums. Wisconsin's funding formula needs to be modernized.
Incumbent Dr. Jill Underly says the formula is the victim of 2 education systems.
We're funding the public school system, which accepts all kids, and then we're funding a voucher system where we pay private school tuition, and they don't take all students.
Sean Brindle, WTMJ News.
I am going to give him a $1 million bail. I believe that that's appropriate.
Bail is set for the Waukesha teenager accused of killing his parents and escaping to Kansas. 17-year-old Nikita Kassup faces 9 felony charges, including first-degree intentional homicide and hiding a corpse and the deaths of his mother and stepfather last month. Assistant District Attorney Brooke Schultz.
The state does believe he's an extreme flight risk here. He was found in Kansas with victim A and victim B's property. He has been speaking with someone in Russian about moving to Ukraine after committing these crimes. So the state is concerned that he's a flight risk if he is ever released.
Kassup is due back in court on April 9th.
Job security could still be an issue for 2 top Trump administration officials involved in the failed Signal group chat on an unsecure social media app. CBS's Willie James Inman.
President Trump is publicly backing his national security advisor, Mike Waltz, and Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth. But according to sources familiar with the matter, privately, the president is venting his irritation about the Signal chat, accidentally including a prominent journalist.
This comes as the Atlantic magazine published a full content view of the Signal chat Wednesday.
President Trump signs an executive order aimed at changes for the Smithsonian Institution and its branches. ABC's Rachel Scott.
The president signed this executive order that is directing his federal agencies, directing the Smithsonian to remove what the administration believes could be divisive or anti-American rhetoric. And this order does also particularly note any monuments that have been taken down over the last 5 years in the wake of George Floyd being killed. There was a series of monuments that were either taken down or renamed. In many cases, those monuments now could be put back up.
The order also calls for improvements to Independence Hall in Philadelphia by July 4th of next year, just in time for the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence.
Time now for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Stocks are tumbling this morning on a hot inflation reading as well as weak consumer sentiments. Right now, the Dow down 526 points at 41,774. The NASDAQ off 390. That's over 2% on the day to 17,416. While the S&P 500 is down 87 points at 5,606. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
A bummer of a start for the Brewers, but we're looking ahead. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 11:05.
You've got several kids, or your job and other commitments keep you buried with work.
Meanwhile, the clutter is piling up at home. How can people stay tidy when their lives are in chaos?
We have a solution to help you chase away the chaos.
Yes. He's Dan, and I'm Katie. Together, we're Inspired Closets.
Our team at Inspired Closets can more than double your closet storage space via gorgeous closet renovations.
And our true lifetime warranty makes it a no-brainer. Get started today at InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Inspired Closets.
A wife and husband team.
70 years ago, the Blaine brothers founded Blaine's Farm and Fleet as one of the nation's first retail stores to sell goods at a discount. And we've helped supply Midwest farms and families with quality products at unbeatable prices ever since. Like 5-quart jugs of Citgo SuperGuard Full Synthetic Motor Oil, $15.99 after mail-in rebate, $50 off a 300-gallon holding septic tank, and select Champion All-Terrain Winch Kits, $74.99. Find value on the things you value. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Hey, it's Lent. That's right. The Lenten season is here. Experience the fabulous Friday Fish Fry at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club. WTMJ's John Merck here. I love the Fox and Hounds Fish Fry. It's all you can eat. It's one of the best, and it's always fantastic service. All other dinners are buy one, get one free tonight and this weekend. The pan-fried walleye, salmon, scallops, pasta, a big fresh salad, even steak and lobster, your second dinner's free. Desserts and huge ice cream drinks, I love the Brandy Alexanders, are buy one, get one free. Unwind with an old-fashioned, there's over 20 bourbons and 100 fine wines, unique dining rooms with fireplaces. The Fox and Hound sits in the Kettle Moraine Forest. The scenery is spectacular. It's a Wisconsin must-see, and your second dinner's free. Saturday, your second prime rib dinner is free. So check out the Friday Lenten Fish Fry. All other dinners are buy one, get one free. Just off Highway 167 near Holy Hill. Call and reserve at one of my favorite spots, the Fox and Hounds.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. A sad start to the Milwaukee Brewers season. The Brewers lost 4-2 on opening day to the Yankees. A quick day off today before resuming the series tomorrow in the Bronx. And the Milwaukee Bucks are back in action at home tonight, taking on the Knicks. The Bucks are coming off a big loss to the Nuggets and slipped to 6th in the Eastern Conference. Our coverage tonight starts with Bucks Shoot-Around at 6.
Checking the roads now, your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. It was a rough start to the morning drive earlier today due to the rain we had moved through. We had several crashes, but right now, excellent news as we've got a perfect looking freeway system. No incidents, no delays, and light volume across the board.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast today. Yes, it is rainy out there, then partly cloudy, windy, and warm after the rain goes away. High of 72 today. The wind gusts up to 35 miles per hour. That's going to be the same story tonight, but we'll dip down to 54 for a low. Tomorrow, scattered showers and falling temperatures. We're going to have a high of 60, but that's going to happen early, and then the temps are going to drop. On Sunday, rain is likely again, so keep that umbrella handy. There is a chance for thunder on Sunday as well. A high of 60, 40s to the north, though. Monday, a few AM snow showers. And you know what Monday is? That's the Brewers home opener. A few snow showers. It's going to be a blast, though. Breezy and cold, high of 39. Wind chills. Yes, we're talking about wind chills on Monday in the 20s. Tuesday, partly cloudy and a high of 40. It's currently 51 degrees in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Tighe, and in for Greg Metzik, it's Adam Roberts.
Happy Friday, everybody. It always sounds nice, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
I'll say happy Monday, I'll say happy Tuesday, but there's something extra special about that happy Friday.
Especially when we got opening day at American Family Field just right around the corner, too. And yes, I know that the result yesterday was not what we wanted, but those late innings, that's what you want in a baseball contest down the stretch. It was high octane, it was exciting, and there's still a lot on the up and up for the Brewers this season. I think one game, let's not hit any panic buttons.
Oh, no. Game one,
Please
we certainly can't hit the panic button. There is a long way to go, and so many of you are heading out to the home opener on Monday, so we're going to get you ready. Rick Schlesinger, President of Business Operations for the Milwaukee Brewers, is going to join us at 11:35, talking about everything that is new this year and the way they're going to get us in faster, which, that's awesome, right? Those lines are going to be cut down. We love that. So that's coming up. But first, we have this.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, Musk is coming to Wisconsin, and he's bringing money. In the middle of the night, billionaire Elon Musk posted to X and said he's coming to Wisconsin on Sunday. Now, he didn't say exactly where in Wisconsin he'll be, but he did note entrance is limited to those who have voted in the Supreme Court election here in Wisconsin. Musk has poured millions into the state Supreme Court race to back conservative candidate Brad Schimmel. Schimmel is up against liberal Susan Crawford. Musk also said he'll personally hand over 2 checks for $1 million each in appreciation of those taking the time to vote. Earlier this week, Musk announced he was giving $1 million to a Green Bay man for signing his petition against activist judges. Here's that guy.
My name is Scott Ainsworth. I'm a mechanical engineer. I live in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Coming up at 11:15, we'll tell you more about this guy from Green Bay and what exactly he plans to do with $1 million he just got from Musk.
Number 2, following this developing story overseas where a 7.7 magnitude earthquake has rattled multiple nations in Southeast Asia, striking this morning and flattening skyscrapers in cities like Bangkok, leaving more than 100 people dead. Dozens more missing across Thailand and the country of origin for the earthquake, Myanmar. Jack Brown lives in Bangkok and saw the horrifying collapse of that apartment building, which had been under construction in Thailand's capital city, where some of the workers are still feared trapped under that rubble.
The building's actually been under construction for a couple of years, and I think it's probably around about 30 stories or so. I knew immediately that there must be workers on that site. And it was just horrifying to see that destruction.
And recovery efforts continuing. Anytime I see videos of any earthquake, whether it's abroad or here at home, I think of the 1989 San Francisco earthquake during the World Series and all of these buildings and roads that just crumble. You think of structures that are made of concrete that can stand up to anything, and then you see how easily they crumble. Videos all across the country showing collapsed houses as well as those buckled and cracked roads. And again, search efforts continue at that apartment building collapse.
Oh, yeah, so many people dead and many more missing. Number 3, today Greenlanders are bracing for what the Prime Minister calls a highly aggressive visit. It's the visit from Vice President J.D. Vance. It comes just days after President Trump promised to take over the island one way or the other. ABC's senior national correspondent Terry Moran is in Greenland.
Here in Nuuk, Greenland's capital, you can hear the concern about what all this might mean. Do you think this is pressure on you guys, though?
Yeah, it's very much. It's very
Second Lady Usha Vance had at first planned to attend a dog sled race and promote cultural ties, but those plans were dropped. Many people here do want to see a deeper, enhanced relationship with the U.S. There's a lot of resentment against Denmark, but an American takeover of Greenland, most people reject that.
Yeah, a recent poll shows 85% of Greenlanders oppose their country becoming part of the United States. Those who support more U.S. involvement say it could be a financial boon for the island.
I guess so. You can't imagine, though, if you are one of those people who live in Greenland, when you started your 2025, that you could ever imagine so much international attention would be on your island.
Yeah. Coming up, just a few minutes here, we're going to tell you more about that guy from Green Bay and what he plans to do with $1 million he just got from Elon Musk.
Wisconsin's Morning News is here for you every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. Vince Petrano.
Milwaukee Public Schools begin the week with more lead remediation, a new superintendent, and a court-ordered deadline.
Eric Billstad.
March in Wisconsin means snowfall and wildfires can happen just days apart.
And traffic with Debbie Lozica.
We've got eastbound 94 closed in Jefferson County.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ.
Can you afford another unneeded property tax increase? Wisconsin taxpayers have witnessed the skyrocketing property taxes in neighboring Illinois. Yet one candidate for the Supreme Court, Susan Crawford, bragged about her efforts to kill Act 10, a law that has saved Wisconsin taxpayers billions of dollars. Now Crawford arrogantly refuses to recuse herself when the Supreme Court hears the attempt to repeal Act 10. Susan Crawford on the Supreme Court means higher property taxes for you. You can still register to vote against Susan Crawford at your local polling place on Election Day, April 1st. Elect Judge Brad Schimmel to the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Brad Schimmel, a proven record of interpreting laws as they are written, not as radical special interest demand. LNC Coalition paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. lcfreedom.com.
A buck
doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
It is currently 51 degrees in Milwaukee. We have a little bit of light rain. It's going to be warm, though, today, a high of 72. Tonight, we'll dip down to 54. And eventually, this rain will get out of here, but it's going to be windy. Prepare for the wind. At the top of the show, we mentioned this guy from Green Bay who's now a millionaire thanks to Elon Musk. Another $1 million award winner is supposed to be announced today, so I keep looking at his X feed, seeing refreshing. Sure. You know, I can't believe how much Elon Musk tweets. It's amazing.
I guess he is the CEO of the company. I think that's maybe the expectation that you're on and involved with what you do. But who can have that much time if you're supposed to be running not just this, but a whole nother company too?
He just does so much. Well, here's a little bit more about the Green Bay man who won all this money. His name is Scott Ainsworth, and he's in engineering.
I've had a good life in engineering. You know, it's one of those careers where you make a good living, but you're not going to become super wealthy. It is significant.
Billionaire Elon Musk just awarded Ainsworth $1 million for signing his petition against activist judges. Musk has poured millions into the Wisconsin Supreme Court race to back conservative candidate Brad Schimmel. And as you know, Schimmel is up against Susan Crawford. Well, the American Political Action Committee gave him one of those massive checks. The background of it is an American flag, and it kind of looks like one of those big checks you get from Publishers Clearinghouse Sweepstake when they knock on your door and they're like, hey, you won.
I was reporting on one of those situations a couple of years ago. I followed one of the people around, and unfortunately the person wasn't home, so it's just me and this guy holding. I'm not holding the check, but I'm like, he's holding this giant check, and I felt so bad for him because someone was home.
I remember that. And because I was wondering, too, when you told me that story, I thought, oh my goodness. And plus, you're getting ready to get a good story out of it, and then
it's deflating.
But I wonder how often that happens to them. That they knock on a door and there's
because they do it in the middle of the day.
Yeah,
like people are doing things. They got to go to work.
Well, so here you have Scott Ainsworth of Green Bay, who just got $1 million from Musk. He is shocked. Here's what he plans to do with the money.
I'm looking at it as an opportunity to bless other people. I'm looking at it as an opportunity to bless local schools and international ministries. I'm looking at it as an opportunity to bless my family.
But that's not all.
Yeah, this one's easy. Elon, thank you. This is just too bizarre for me in my life. We talked today about taking a weekend trip down to Chicago and staying at Trump Tower.
You know he won't be doing that this weekend, though, because we now know Elon Musk is coming here to Wisconsin on Sunday. He didn't say exactly where. My guess is that maybe it's in the Green Bay area because of this, but we'll see. Musk made that announcement on X overnight while most of you were sleeping. He was tweeting out like, hey, I'm going to be in Wisconsin. And he did note that entrance is limited to those who have voted in the Supreme Court election here in the state. Musk also said he will personally hand over 2 checks for $1 million each in appreciation of those taking the time to vote. So it seems like he's going to be handing out that check to Ainsworth, but Ainsworth technically already has the check. And then the other person who's supposed to be revealed today. But he didn't specifically say that. But it kind of seems like maybe he's going to announce Ainsworth and then this other person, and that will be the $2 million. But I don't know. Maybe he comes with another $2 million. We'll see.
It's just such a show environment. And it makes you think, this is not the first time we've seen Elon do something like this. Recall during the presidential election, there was the Philadelphia DA who sued when they were making payments for voters under their law, and they failed to say that there was any legal standing for that. So I know now, already approaching nearly $100 million, and that's just in donations, and this is just adding on top of that. It really is an ungodly amount of money that's being spent in and around this whole Supreme Court race.
Huge, absolutely huge. But think of this guy Ainsworth up in Green Bay. He signs his petition, and then all of a sudden, he now has $1 million that he didn't have the day before.
He is the kind of person that said, well, I never win anything. I just signed a piece of paper, and someone say, hey, you won.
By the way, if you're listening, we'd love to talk with you, Ainsworth. I tried to link in with him last night.
Please.
Doesn't seem like he's on LinkedIn that much. Tried to link in. I'm still waiting for that connection.
Because I have questions, plenty of them.
Time right now is 11:20. Coming up next, we're going to check in with TMJ4 meteorologist Tyler Moore. We're going to talk about the weather for the weekend, what you can expect when this rain is going to get out of here, and oh yes, what we can expect for Brewers' home opener coming up on Monday.
Do you have a written financial plan? Hi, I'm Aaron Kowal of Kowal Investment Group. We have recently joined Creative Planning, a national registered investment advisor. This move allows us to provide more comprehensive wealth management services to help with all aspects of your finances, including your investments, taxes, estate plan, and more. At Creative Planning, we understand life is busy, and sometimes important things like retirement planning can fall to the wayside. So I'm here to remind you to take time to plan. A 1-hour complimentary consultation with our fiduciary advisors will help you get started on the path to your dream retirement. We will review your current financial situation, your goals and needs, and help you plan for life's what-ifs. Don't delay planning for your future any longer. And even if you already have a plan, a second opinion from our advisors can help determine if there are adjustments to make. Kowal Investment Group is now Creative Planning. Visit creativeplanning.com to get started. That's creativeplanning.com.
Pain can make you feel like no matter what you try, it's not going to work. Or it can make you try any and everything. And most times that'll make you feel like you've been taken for a ride. It's hard to believe that there's a solution to your pain problem that works, is safe, and is actually affordable. But that's why most insurance plans pay for pain treatments from Rejuvenex, because they're FDA approved and they do work. Toradol and hyaluronic acid work together to substantially alleviate your pain. And we've seen patients experience pain relief for greater than 2 years after completing a series of treatments. Is it a one and done? No. But at as low as $65 per joint? It's an affordable alternative to surgery. And it's not an expensive cross your fingers and hope it works experiment. Especially for older pain sufferers, the pain treatment that Rejuvenex offers is worth trying, because the vast majority of patients who do live better lives in a lot less pain. Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
The story impacting everyone today, the rain. It's like a slow rain, isn't it, though? I mean, it caused problems this morning, but it just feels like a little bit of a sleepy Friday because of the rain.
A little bit. I got lucky for my bike forecast this morning. I was sweating it out a little bit, but I beat the rain before it arrived. And now that it looks like it's starting to move out, should be a good ride home. But I was biting my nails a little bit, wondering if I was going to get soaked on my way to work.
See, that's the day when sometimes being the bike guy doesn't help.
But those car prices are going up, so I got to move quickly if I want to get in on that.
And they're going up high. All right, let's check in on the weather for today, the weekend, and the Brewers' home opener. TMJ4 meteorologist Tyler Moore joins us. Happy Friday, Tyler. Happy Friday. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to
you. Do we have Tyler? Did Tyler disappear? We're trying to get Tyler, but here's the thing. I can tell you this, that we are seeing some light rain still in Milwaukee. We've got a high temperature of 51. The rain is going to get out of here. And then at some point, we're going to be dealing with just mild temperatures because our high today is 72.
But it's a deceiving 72. It's not going to really feel like it for everyone because we're going to have that wind. And is it just me, or does it feel like it has been incredibly windy to start 2025? It seems like multiple times we're talking 35, 40-plus mile-an-hour winds. It can't just be me.
It has been windy. And I think we talked, what was it, last week? We talked to Tyler or Brendan about that. And it has been incredibly windy. We're talking about wind gusts today up to 35 miles per hour. Then tonight, we're going to get rid of the rain, but it's still going to be windy, partly cloudy, very mild and windy, low of 54. But we're also talking about a pneumonia front. So we're going to check in with Tyler about that in just a minute. We're calling him. It's like, deet, 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 deet. Here he is. Hey, Tyler, how are you?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Commercial at this point.
Could you hear me say Happy Friday? Happy Friday.
Yes, I could. Happy Friday to you guys, too. Sorry, we might have a technical issue with our microphone here on this end in the Weather Center.
Oh, man. Hey, we got you, and we like that. So we were just kind of going through the forecast for today. But we also noted that is the pneumonia front in effect for us at some point here?
Yeah, that's a great question. The pneumonia front, our favorite spring friend, is definitely in play. I think as we go through the days tomorrow's going to be kind of a backwards day. We'll start off near 60 in the morning and then drop into the upper 30s by the afternoon. And part of that is because of that pneumonia front coming in off Lake Michigan. So enjoy the 70s this afternoon, because tomorrow you're going to have to dress for two different types of seasons, in the morning and in the afternoon.
So typical Wisconsin in late March, definitely going out like a lion this year. Hey, Tyler, do we know about rain totals from this morning? I was curious because we had so much of it come through earlier. Do we have any measurements that are in so far?
Yeah, a lot of places ended up between about a quarter and a half inch. We also had some hail reports too mixing in. Saw some near Oak Creek by the airport, also Lake Beulah, kind of the East Troy area, picking up some pea-sized hail with some of those storms, and lots of lightning too being reported. But yeah, about a quarter to a half inch. And now it's pretty much shutting off. There are a couple sprinkles left near Racine and Kenosha, but everyone else is going to start to dry out. And now the clouds are really breaking apart quick. If you're looking out now and seeing the clouds, I'm really excited because it looks like we're going to get a good amount of sunshine to come into play this afternoon.
Ooh, I love that. Okay, sounds like a great day. We're also looking ahead to Monday because it's the big Brewers home opener at American Family Field. So many people will be out there tailgating no matter the weather. Last year we had tons of rain. We've seen snow. Sometimes we have sun. What can we expect this year?
I hate to say it, but this year looks pretty rough. We thought last year was tough. I don't know. It's kind of pick your poison. Would you rather have a cold rain or some snow showers? Because obviously last year was the cold rain. This year I'm thinking we get some snow showers in the morning, temperatures in the 30s, and wind chills in the teens for tailgating. So it's looking pretty rough for most of the tailgating time frame. Obviously the roof's going to be closed, but even as you go back out to your car after the game, 30s, wind chills in the 20s. So, not the best for the home opener. I wish it was honestly this afternoon. It would have been perfect to have that. But, we're going to be stuck with the cold temperatures and that chilly breeze from the northwest impacting us on Monday.
Oh, yeah, this afternoon would be stellar. I've already done my vote, but in case you didn't know, I vote for snow over rain. What's your vote, Tyler?
Yeah, I'm going snow over rain, too. There's nothing worse than being soaking wet, and it's like that bone-chilling cold. I think with the snow, you brush it off, you can deal with it. It's kind of fun. It's like going to Lambeau games, Packer games, we deal with it. We're used to it. But there's something about the rain that you just can't avoid. It always just soaks you.
And for what it's worth, if you're out in the storm chaser at AmFam on Monday, it'll make for a great visual with the snowflakes falling.
Yeah. I was out there last year, and it was rough with the rain. I will gladly take the snow, so I will be out there definitely Monday morning for that. Are you guys gonna be out there at all?
We are going to be all over the place out there on Monday, and hopefully the Brewers get the W. Thanks so much, Tyler. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, you guys too.
Coming up next, it's your top local news and national headlines.
Debbie Loziga here for Kohler Services. If you've been putting off your bath or shower remodel, now's the time to turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. This month only, get $1,000 off your Luckstone shower remodel and no payment financing until 2026. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
It's like being trapped in a cage. And I know, that sounds dramatic, but your breathing triangle problem has got you trapped. And once you're freed, you're going to be able to live the life that you're missing out on. Now, this can simply mean experiencing the true pleasure of breathing freely. It will mean better sleep and more energy. And the worry of this problem any more affecting your life is going to be gone. Because in almost every case, when Advent has solved a breathing triangle problem, it's a one and done. Because we're not in the business of delivering Band-Aids. We want to fix your nasal breathing problem for good. We don't want you to be a lifelong patient. We want you to be our next success story.
Isn't it time you break free from that cage? Take the next step. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
The Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center is here in New Berlin, and it's ready for you and your team. From little leaguers to hardcore players and trainers, this is the place you'll want to be.
You can't beat Berghardt.
Are you concerned with AMD? Now protecting your eyes is easier thanks to New Nordic's Blueberry Eye Supplements, available now at Amazon.com or NewNordicUSA.com.
It's 11:30 on the dot. I'm Jessica Tighe. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, March 28th. Your top story, a new millionaire thanks to Elon Musk.
I'm Adam Roberts, eating more than just hot dogs at the ball yard.
Our rain is starting to ramp up this morning. Then later today, partly cloudy, windy, and warm. Our high, 72 degrees. How about that? Wind gusts up to 35 miles per hour. Tonight, we'll dip down to 72 for the low.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Severson. The Trump administration is asking the Supreme Court to step in to allow further deportations of alleged Venezuelan gang members under the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. Extremely productive is how President Trump on social media describes a phone call today with Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney. Over 140 deaths from a 7.7 magnitude earthquake rocking Southeast Asia this morning, bringing down skyscrapers in Bangkok. Most of the deaths are in next-door Myanmar. Jack Brown lives in Bangkok.
Frightening and something I haven't experienced over the 10 years that I've been living here in Bangkok. I mean, earthquakes are not common here.
Brown says he saw a large apartment building that had been under construction crash to the ground, with some of the workers still feared trapped under the rubble. A federal judge in Manhattan given Voice of America a reprieve, temporarily blocking the Trump administration from making deep cuts to the agency that runs it. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 11:31.
A man from Green Bay is $1 million richer thanks to Elon Musk. Scott Ainsworth received the money after signing a petition against activist judges funded by Musk's Political Action Committee. Musk also posted on X that he's coming to Wisconsin for a rally on Sunday ahead of the state's spring election. He says he'll give out $2 million checks in appreciation for taking the time to vote. The tech billionaire is backing Judge Brad Schimmel in the state Supreme Court race against Judge Susan Crawford.
Another big race in our Decision Wisconsin coverage is that for state superintendent, and the candidates both agree on keeping teachers in the state.
Incumbent Dr. Jill Underly says the state needs to do more to help fund teachers, and state's Act 10 decreased funding back in 2011.
We need to make sure that we are paying our staff what they are worth. I mean, it's a commitment to valuing and supporting the entire teaching profession.
Candidate Brittany Kinzer says the state can do more to hire other education professionals outside public schools.
I'm open to collaborating with various groups and learning from other states that have implemented successful programs.
Sean Brenda, WTMJ News.
A constitutional amendment on the April 1st ballot. Voters will decide whether to enshrine the state's photo ID requirement to vote. The provision would also give the state legislature the authority to determine which types of ID qualify as acceptable. Wisconsin has had a photo ID requirement for voting since 2011, making it one of 9 states in the country with those rules.
A former police officer has been charged with possessing child pornography. 22-year-old Owen Halls only spent 2 days on the Neenah police force before he was fired and arrested on the charges. Kaukauna police received an Internet Crimes Against Children tip and determined that Halls was the suspect in that case. He could face up to 25 years in prison for each count if convicted.
A new food venue at American Family Field.
I'm here at American Family Field, where the Brewers have stepped up their food game with the Alley.
We worked with 3 different food truck vendors in the Milwaukee area who have a great reputation, that were companies that people were excited about bringing into the ballpark, and we made it a reality.
Tom Heck, Vice President of Consumer Experience.
We need a lot of cheering in the ballpark. We need our fans to have full bellies and have the energy in those late innings to cheer us on, and we hope that will help that.
At American Family Field, Nizier Spencer, WTMJ News.
That was not the start they were looking for. Sports, traffic, and weather on the way next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 11:34.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Shopco Optical. Get eyewear for everything you do at Shopco Optical. Schedule your annual comprehensive eye exam, check out new frame styles, and order your annual supply of contact lenses all in one place. Enjoy the time and attention your eyes deserve at Shopco Optical. Receive quality eye care and a personalized vision solution tailored to your specific vision and lifestyle needs. Call Shopco Optical or visit shopco.com to schedule an appointment at a location nearest you.
It's time to gear up for the season at Blaine's Farm and Fleet, your spring weather headquarters. Rain or shine, we've got the value you need to get your spring projects underway. Right now, get up to $20 off Scott's Turf Builder Crabgrass Preventer or Triple Action, $50 off a Wi-Fi-enabled Basement Watchdog sub pump, and 40-pound bags of Diamond Crystal Bright and Soft Softener Salt pellets, just $5.99 each. Find the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
New treatments for joint pain are here. By now, you've heard about regenerative medicine. If you're wondering if you're a good candidate, answer these questions. First, does chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or other joints keep you from doing the things you enjoy? Golfing, jogging, time with the family. Does it hurt doing the things you need to do, like getting out of bed, sleeping, working, and walking? And finally, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? If you answered yes to any of those, you need to call QC Kinetics now. Learn about exciting advancements in regenerative treatments that can give you long-lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Get your free consultation today. Call QC Kinetics. That's QC Kinetics. Here's the phone number.
Call now, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. A sad start to the Milwaukee Brewers season. The Brewers lost 4-2 on opening day to the Yankees. Long season ahead, though. A quick day off today before resuming the series tomorrow in the Bronx. And the Milwaukee Bucks are back in action at home tonight, taking on the Knicks. The Bucks are coming off a big loss to the Nuggets and slipped to 6 in the Eastern Conference. Our coverage starts with Bucks shoot-around at 6 tonight.
Let's check the roads now. Your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. Got a bit of a mess right now. It's on the exit to Brown Deer Road heading west from I-43. Got a multitude of vehicles involved in this. Looks like, I'm looking at the camera right now, there's apparently a vehicle that spun out. There's some dirt kicked up. We got a couple involved. And it's a little bit of a slow go off the exit to Brown Deer Road from the freeway as they clean this up. So be mindful of that. Not impacting any actual freeway traffic, but something to be aware of. One other slow spot going to be on 94 heading north from about Holt all the way up to Lincoln. Tapping the brakes for a little bit there, adding a couple extra minutes.
And here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast today. Those showers are starting to end, then partly cloudy, windy, and warm. We have a high of 72 today, wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. We'll dip down to 54 for the low tonight. Tomorrow, scattered showers, so keep that umbrella handy. Falling temps. We'll have a high of 60, but that's going to be early, and then the temps are going to drop. Sunday, another chance for rain and thunder as well. High 60, 40s to the north. Monday, for the Brewers home opener, a few snow showers in the morning, breezy and cold, high of 39. Tuesday, partly cloudy, a high of 40. It's currently 51 in Milwaukee. Game 1 is done. Now we're looking ahead to the Brewers home opener. They take on the Kansas City Chiefs at 1:10 on Monday. Two important notes on the season. We will be missing legendary broadcaster Bob Uecker, who died in January at the age of 90. It is going to feel different, no doubt. But remember, he would want us to celebrate him. He would want us to have a blast. And here's something to celebrate. Christian Yelich back in the mix after undergoing season-ending back surgery in August. So let's get you ready to tailgate and take in baseball this season. Rick Schlesinger, president of business operations for the Milwaukee Brewers, joins us live. It's almost go time, Rick.
Almost a few more days in New York, and then we're home opener against the Royals on Monday.
We cannot wait. What's happening Monday for the home opener? What can fans expect?
Well, we expect the roof to be closed and temperate conditions inside, given that weather report you just disclosed. So ballpark will be full. We're down to standing room only and just a few single seats left available. We're going to have, obviously, a tribute to Bob Uecker. We're going to have a moment of silence. The team's wearing the special jersey patch honoring Bob all season long. We'll have Bob's signature cut into the outfield, and we're having a series of special Bob Uecker retail items. Some of the proceeds will go to his favorite charities. And, you know, like you said, he's not with us, but he's there in spirit, and I think he wants us to celebrate Brewers baseball, and we're excited for the opener.
Rick, you mentioned roof will be shut for the game. That's a pretty obvious note. Last time we talked earlier this week for preview week, we talked a little bit, you and I did, about how that roof will play into potentially winterization down the road. For Monday, though, how warm is it inside AmFam for fans who are coming in from where it'll be probably about 27 degrees and snowy? What can they expect for a temp inside?
Yeah, we'll be about 66 to 68 degrees, and obviously with 41,000 people in there, it'll the body heat from all those fans will feel like it's a little warmer. So it'll be very comfortable inside. Obviously, getting from the parking lot to the inside, people wear the jackets, but it'll be very comfortable inside.
There's a ton that's new at the ballpark this year. I really love the new MLB go-ahead entry that's supposed to make it quicker for fans to get inside. How does it work?
Yeah, there'll be two entrances, home plate west and third base. And for those fans who voluntarily want to be part of the program, you basically send a selfie to the ballpark app. And then as you walk through the magnetometers, the metal detectors, you don't have to take your phone out and have your ticket scanned. The computers will recognize your face and tie it to your ticket. And it's an easy breeze through the ballpark, and it's being used at 10 ballparks in 2025. And those that have used it previously have registered great results. Fans love it. It's so much faster. And again, technology is our friend, and we're looking forward to getting people into the ballpark faster and easier.
Let's talk about the food, Rick. We had our reporter Nazir Spencer out for preview week this week, but for those who weren't able to get a sample on some of the new stuff that's out at the ballpark, I know the alley is the signature piece this year. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, we have brought food trucks into the ballpark. It'll be in the left side on the loge level, the second level, and we have 3 food trucks plus gelato, and again, trying to bring in local Milwaukee authentic cuisine from some of the best food truck purveyors. It's sort of a good bookend to the 3rd Street Market Hall that we launched last year on the right field side, very successful. So if you want your brats and dogs and beer, you're going to get it. But if you want, tacos and you want some steak sandwiches, you want gelato, you want some different kinds of cuisine, you'll be able to get it at the food truck alley at left field.
Didn't the ballpark just score an award for its food, too?
Yeah, I think we were ranked 2nd in baseball in ballpark fare. So as I tell our people, we have to improve that ranking and get number 1. But we're very proud of the ballpark experience, whether it's the food, just the ease of getting in, the cleanliness, the affordability. It's all part of the experience. And the food is really been taken up a notch in the last few years.
You changed the rideshare lot this year. What prompted that change, and where is it now? Because I know a lot of people like to use Uber and Lyft, and a lot of people doing that on Monday when the Royals come to town.
Right. The rideshare lot is now in the Mauler lot, in the south part of the Mauler lot, which is just across from the I-75 Brewers Way. We did it because our fans were telling us that they wanted a better spot for ingress and egress. Right now, the new spot makes it so much easier for accessibility and for the cars to get in and out. Again, it's trying to get people into the ballpark faster, and when the game's over, trying to get them home faster. So it's really just trying to design a place that makes more sense to get more of the rideshare cars in and out faster.
Hey, Rick, real quick, I know you're out in New York today. On the morning show, we told you have to get in a show. Looks like you're in a busy section of the city. What's it like out there today? Assuming it's probably pretty nice.
It's actually low 60s and very crowded. I think there's more people within the city block that I'm in than there are in, a lot of Milwaukee. So a lot of energy here. Obviously, we were at the game yesterday. It didn't come out the way we wanted, but we've got another game tomorrow and one on Sunday, and then team returns. And again, we're excited to be in front of the fans.
It's going to be different this year without legendary broadcaster Bob Uecker. What can fans expect Monday at the home opener to honor Uecker?
Yeah, obviously we'll have a special video, a moment of silence. He will bearing the jersey patch with the Uecker signature plaid icon. It's going to be different. It's not the same without Bob. And I know the guys in the radio booth are dealing with that, and they're trying to honor him as best they can by being professional. And the team feels it. So it's going to be weird. The loss is hard to come to grips with, and it's going to, be something we think about all the time. But Bob left such a legacy of success and honor and commitment and love for Brewers that the best way we can do it is to sort of keep that tradition going and just keep his memory alive.
And then, Rick, you had mentioned we are still working on finalizing those details for the celebration of life. You expect that announcement could come next week, potentially?
Yeah, I think we're almost done figuring out logistics, and the plan is to announce something probably in a week or so that the fans know in advance which game and what, as we learn more, we will constantly update the fans, but the most important thing is to let the fans know which game we're going to be doing the celebration of life, and that'll come in about a week.
Rick, I asked you this last year, and I'll ask you again. How are you feeling going into this season? Because it's a new year, and every year feels a little bit different.
Yeah, no, obviously the names have been changed. We lost Willie Adames, we lost Evan Williams, but I'm excited about the team. We're going to get Brandon Woodruff back. We're going to get some of our starting pitchers back a little bit later in the season. Yelich is healthy and back. That's a huge upgrade to our lineup and to our leadership. I'm really optimistic. I think it's going to be an exciting race. The Cubs are better. The Reds are better. The Pirates are better. I wouldn't count the Cardinals out because they're always a formidable opponent. But it's going to be an exciting season. I think it's going to go on the wire. And, we're the two-time defending champs. So, we have the target on our back. And I expect us to be there at the end.
Rick, Jackson Chourio had such a big breakout year for the team last year, and he was able, for you as a team, you were able to brand around him and build that brand because he became such a superstar in our city. If you had to look at the roster this season, which player in your eye has potential to be that big brand builder for the team this year?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Jackson Chourio had a tough opening day, but he's such an amazing talent, and people forget he's 21. I expect a big year for him. I think Sal Frelick is going to show some more power, and he's put on some muscle, and he's a Gold Glove fielder, a great guy. And Garrett Mitchell, again, if he's healthy and plays a full year, he's going to showcase why we made him a first-round pick. So I look at our outfielders, and with Yelich there, we're going to have a tremendously talented outfield, and we can always put somebody at DH. So it's getting the big bats in our lineup, getting the Gold Glovers out there, and that's who I look at. I look at our outfielders, our young talent there, and that's to me is they're going to take the next step.
Rick, this is just the best interview because we can just tell that you're right there in New York with the beep beep and the horns. You can tell it's not Milwaukee. We can feel it and we can hear it. I've got one more quick question for you. It's a fun one before we let you go here. Which giveaway this year is a can't miss? You have such a variety, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, we've got some great promo items. We've got, the Pat Murphy bobblehead. We've got the Christian Yelich bobblehead. We've got a cribbage board. I think the cribbage board, just because it's sort of an interesting throwback to a game that maybe your parents all played, but we've heard a lot of talk about it. And sometimes the throwbacks to things from years gone by are become popular even with youngsters. So I think that'll be exciting. We've got a lot of good giveaways with wearables, hoodies and T-shirts and all that kind of stuff. So I think there's something for everybody.
The Brewers home opener coming up on Monday. They take on the Kansas City Royals at American Family Field. First pitch is 1:10. That's Rick Schlesinger, President of Business Operations for the Milwaukee Brewers. Enjoy Monday, Rick.
Thank you very much.
By the way, that cribbage board giveaway is courtesy of your friends here at WTMJ. That's May 17th. It's a Saturday game. I say this because only the first 25,000 will get there. And if you know big giveaway days, like I think about the Giannis jersey from a couple of years ago.
Oh, that was huge.
That line stretches all the way out to I-94. So keep that in mind. I think that's going to be a popular giveaway this season.
I was actually writing down some of my favorites, and I was like, got to get that cribbage board courtesy of us over here at 620 WTMJ. But I also they have a Brewers tumbler this season that's really sharp. And tumblers are really popular, but I really like the look of this one, too. And then kudos to the Brewers for giving out size medium shirts and jerseys as well. Because not everybody wears an extra large. And sometimes you go places and all they have is the extra large.
Yep. I remember for years as a kid when we would go on the T-shirt giveaway days and we're like, well, we don't have the medium for you, but we can give you this. And we're like, well, yay, another sleep shirt, I guess.
Well, and it's a free shirt, so we can't complain much. But yeah, no. but I took note. I'm like, okay, they're giving out mediums too. I like that. Also, some fun, the post-game concerts that we've told you about when they announced those. Friday, June 27th, you got Nelly after the Brewers take on the Colorado Rockies at 7:10. And then Thursday, September 18th, DJ Diesel. You know who that is? That's Shaq. Mm-hmm. After the Brewers take on the Los Angeles Angels at 6:40. Time right now is 11:48. Coming up next, it's Week in Review by the very talented Adam Roberts.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
For 70 years, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in Wisconsin. WTMJ's Greg Matzik here. Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geis today. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to GeisDoors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Your stress-free spring break trip starts in your driveway with Go Right Way, Wisconsin's largest chauffeured fleet. Start your vacation as soon as you leave your house by letting Go Right Way handle your rides to and from Mitchell Field or O'Hare. Luggage? Go Right Way has it. Traffic? Go Right Way handles it. Parking hassles? You won't miss them. Go Right Way's professional, on-time chauffeurs are background checked and their vehicles are premium and meticulously cleaned. Your journey starts with a ride you can trust. Book your ride today at GoRightWay.com.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit GreatImpress.com. That's GreatImpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
Your basement. Ooh, wall cracks. Oh no, seepage. And stains on the bottom of those walls. Terrifying. The only thing scarier than basement issues are businesses that prey on your fear over those terrifying foundational cracks. The team at Gatish Foundation never uses high-pressure sales tactics. Over 90% of Gatish Foundation's jobs are through referrals. So, for an honest opinion on the condition of your basement, call Gatish Foundation today. Spelled G-A-I-Dish. Gatish.com.
Pastor Tim Butker here, inviting you to join us each week for Christian Crusaders. The Bible tells the greatest story ever told, one of hope, redemption, and new life. As we journey through a Bible overview and head towards Easter, we remember the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ, the Son of God, who conquered sin and the grave for us all. Grow in faith with us as we open the all-powerful Word of God. Tune in Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ.
On noon here on Wisconsin's Midday News, Adam Roberts filling in for Greg Matzik alongside Jessica Tighe. Another busy week. It is Friday. We got to cover everything that happened, including a major national security flub in Washington, new charges for a teenager from Waukesha, an earthquake rocking Southeast Asia this morning. All that and a lot more. It's the Week in Review, brought to you as always by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go back.
Dr. Brenda Cassellius tells WTMJ addressing issues brought up in Governor Tony Evers' audit of the district in February is high on her list of priorities.
So that we have a lean, efficient organization that really responds to the public's trust.
Have you ever seen a Tesla dealership in Wisconsin?
No.
You know why? Because we don't have any. You know why? Because Tesla owns and operates its own dealerships. Tesla is suing Wisconsin in court.
I can't think of one new car dealer in the greater Milwaukee area that wouldn't want the opportunity to get a Tesla franchise.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk.
The Brewers take on the Rockies this afternoon in the final spring training game on the calendar.
Perfection. Greg, do you want to do an introduction?
That's 10-year-old Riley. My daughters are on spring break, and my wife was coming to pick them up in a little bit. She's probably terrified in the vehicle right now. She's listening to her daughter do a sportscast.
It's so easy.
10-year-old Riley
could do it.
Members of the Trump administration inadvertently sharing details for an attack in Yemen with reporter Jeffrey Goldberg for The Atlantic.
The report in The Atlantic is stunning.
I don't know anything about it.
I'm not going to get into the specifics.
Why are you going to get into the specifics? Is it because it's all classified? If it's not classified, share the text now.
Ask for this gift, and it shall be given you.
President Trump's national security advisor, Mike Waltz, saying the blame lies with him.
I take full responsibility. I built the group.
Bucks guard Damian Lillard has been diagnosed with deep vein thrombosis in his right calf.
He's stable,
being treated. We do think there's an opportunity for him to come back.
Thank you for joining us today for the 2025 State of the County Address.
The county executive joins us live in the studio.
One of the key points that I took away was how much you said we need to look at the removal of our public safety building downtown.
They actually have to meet on top of a garbage can, laying out their portfolio to basically have a conversation.
Auto tariffs are going to force the many car companies that build vehicles outside of the U.S. to make some tough decisions.
Ultimately, you're going to have a lot of people making a lot of cars.
We will fight the U.S. tariffs. We won't back down. Nothing is off the table.
S&P Global reports the tariff rate in effect last month was at 3.91%. The hardest part for craft brewers like Gale is the uncertainty.
Right now, we have not seen a price increase yet, but we are expecting it. We don't know what that price increase is going to be or whether it's something that we can absorb or if we need to pass it on to our consumers.
I am going to give him a $1 million bail.
17-year-old Nikita Kasap facing 9 felony charges now, including first-degree intentional homicide.
He's been speaking with someone in Russian about moving to Ukraine after committing these crimes.
Renowned Milwaukee actor James Pickering, he offered to record a spoken word performance of the classic baseball poem by Ernest Lawrence Thayer, Casey at the Bat.
Somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout, but there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out.
That is cinema.
We made it. It's opening day. We're here. We're finally here.
Welcome to the Bronx. Opening day of the 2025 championship season for the Milwaukee Brewers.
2-2 is a high fly ball, deep left field. Dominguez back at the track. Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Gone for Vinny Capra! Whoa!
Hundreds of people fear dead. 7.7 magnitude earthquake in Myanmar.
I woke up my partner and I said, hey, it's earthquake.
Elon Musk says he plans to hold a rally in Wisconsin Sunday to personally hand over $2 million to a pair of voters who have already cast their ballots.
Well, I did say people are gonna be rich.
What are we, gay? Backsplash Doors. Da-da-da-da.
Goldberg! Oh, Toddy Mommy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
Is outdoor living limited at your place? Well, imagine a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, maybe even an outdoor kitchen in your yard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is a local, family-owned company that consults, designs, and builds these things. They're the best. Let them make Outdoor Living Unlimited in your yard like they did in ours. We are Wisconsin. We live outdoors as much as possible. Make the most of it with help from Outdoor Living Unlimited. See OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Football fans, Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets to the first day of the 2025 draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select Wisconsin Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois, age 21 years or older to enter. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit www.espnwisconsincontest.com.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Lake Geneva is the Midwest's premier golf destination, featuring breathtaking views, crystal clear lakes, and rolling fairways. Treat yourself to an all-inclusive golf getaway with courses designed for all skill levels, luxurious lodging, distinctive dining, and a relaxing spa. Plan a Lake Geneva group golf outing, a corporate event, or a weekend getaway with friends or family. Their pros will help you plan a memorable golf experience. For info on courses and more, visit lakegeneva.com today. Lake Geneva, it's always been the place for legendary golf.
Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ's Steve Scafidi and Loyal Family Renovations. They saved the day after a brutal storm in Oak Creek. Hail damage, yeah, I had a lot of it. But Jeff, Jake, and the whole team, absolute pros, made the entire process smooth as can be. Let's be honest, not everyone knows how to deal with adjusters. They handled all the questions, quick answers, top-notch customer service. In just 2 days, my roof was done. If storm damage hits, call the team that made it easy for me. Loyal Family Renovations. Visit loyalfamilyrenovations.com.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com.
The Bucks are back home to kick some nicks.
Lopez had a notion to shoot the three, instead takes it down the lane, rams it home with a two-hand jam as the lane parted like the Red Sea.
Our coverage starts tonight at 6 with Bucks Shoot Around on your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's just afternoon. I'm Jessica Tighe. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, March 28th. Your top story, no tempering tariff talks.
I'm Adam Roberts. At least they agree on this.
Your forecast for today, partly cloudy, windy, and warm. A high of 72. Slowly but surely, we're getting there after the rain this morning. Wind gusts up to 35 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, very mild and windy. We'll dip down to 54 for the low. We're now up to 53 in Milwaukee. President Trump imposing steep tariffs on imported vehicles is sending a wave of worry down the assembly line at some of our country's busiest car parts.
Think auto industry and you probably think Detroit. But here in North Texas,
we make all of the GM SUVs here in Arlington, Texas.
With around 80% imported parts, and Arlington Mayor Jim Ross is worried about the coming tariffs.
The impact that it would have on the 5,600 employees that work at GM assembly plant.
In San Antonio, 3,200 more assemble Toyotas. The mayors of Arlington and San Antonio have written to Texas 2 U.S. senators asking them to urge President Trump to rein in his tariff plans. Jim Ryan, ABC News in Dallas-Fort Worth.
Closer to home, some farmers in Wisconsin say tariff talks are making them nervous as well.
We just try to take control of where we have the ability to control.
Because while there could be an advantage for cranberry growers like Heidi Slinkman in Wisconsin Rapids, she reminds us other areas of growing a farm could be affected by tariffs, like steel and aluminum.
What is the cost to repair your equipment? Where's the equipment parts coming from? So when I am asked these tariff questions, it's just hard to give a straight answer.
Which is why she is remaining focused on what she's an expert at, being a strong Wisconsin farmer. Julia Fellow, WTMJ News.
Wisconsin grows 60% of the nation's cranberries.
Decision Wisconsin. They're as synonymous with Election Day as the candidates themselves. School referendums. If you're sick of seeing them on the ballot, know that 2 candidates running for state superintendent are right there with you. State Superintendent Dr. Jill Underley says the school funding formula is flawed.
You know, we have to really look at our school funding formula. We also have to look at the fact that we are funding 2 systems. We're funding the public school system, which accepts all kids, and then we're funding a voucher system where we pay private school tuition, and they don't take all students.
Candidate Brittany Kinzer says the state formula needs to change.
Schools are operating with limited resources, and taxpayers are concerned and tired of actually paying the referendums. Wisconsin's funding formula needs to be modernized.
Voters will choose state superintendent coming up on Tuesday.
Governor Tony Evers has vetoed a bill that would have changed how schools report student performance. The Assembly Bill 1 would have changed adjustments made by State Superintendent Dr. Jill Underly, you just heard from, and the Department of Public Instruction last year on the categories used to measure achievement. Previous categories had aligned with national reporting standards. Underly is up for re-election in Tuesday's spring election.
The Trump administration is asking the Supreme Court to step in to allow more deportations of alleged Venezuelan gang members. ABC's Stephen Portnoy has the latest from Washington.
In seeking relief from the High Court, the Justice Department says keeping alleged gang members in U.S. detention forces the government to harbor individuals who've been identified as members of a foreign terrorist organization. But advocates for the men argue many who are believed to be members of Tren de Aragua in reality aren't, and they should be given a hearing before they're sent to a prison in El Salvador where they've never lived.
A panel of appellate judges left an order in place temporarily prohibiting deportations of the migrants under the Rarely Used Alien Enemies Act.
Time now for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Not looking great for the big three. Earlier losses have only compounded this afternoon. The Dow down 705 points, over 1.5% at 41,595. The Nasdaq down 460 points, that's nearly 2.6% at 17,344. And the S&P 500 down triple digits today, 110 points at 5,582. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
A bummer of a start for the Milwaukee Brewers, but we're looking ahead at this point. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:05.
The Lifetime Door Free Garage Door Contest is almost over. Time is running out to win a brand new garage door from Lifetime Door. Absolutely free. This contest ends March 31st. Don't miss the chance to win a stunning, high-quality garage door that will boost your home's curb appeal and value. Entering is easy. Text GARAGE to the WTMJ Talk and Text line, or just go to WTMJ.com and the entry form is on the very front page. It's just that simple. For contest rules, visit our website, WTMJ.com.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
You wake up feeling like you just boxed 12 rounds. Some wake up sweating with sore jaws, headaches, and a lot of our patients complain of brain fog. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and these signs, often joined with snoring, are sleep apnea symptoms. And if this sounds like you may have been in a struggle last night between you and this serious disorder. Many people aren't willing to fight back. But the fact is, you can't go through these nightly struggles without ramifications that each night chip away at your life's expiration date. I get it. You don't want to wear a CPAP mask. You may find out you don't need one. We have every effective sleep apnea solution available. And believe me, the mask is the last resort.
It's time to take action to stop your sleep struggle. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. A sad start to the Milwaukee Brewers season. The Brewers lost 4-2 on opening day to the Yankees. Quick day off today before resuming the series tomorrow in the Bronx. And the Milwaukee Bucks are back in action at home tonight, taking on the Knicks. The Bucks are coming off a big loss to the Nuggets and slipped to 6th in the Eastern Conference. Our coverage starts tonight with Bucks shoot-around at 6.
Checking the roads now, your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. Got a slew of crashes to report right now, including a pretty serious one on the ramp from Forest Home to 894 East. There are backups with this stretching all the way west through the Hale, north onto 894 near Beloit Road. So this is a pretty serious one. Cameras are off from earlier this morning, so I don't have a visual on it, but the backups are pretty severe with this. Also have a separate crash. Looks like it's involving a smaller semi-truck on 94 North near Holt. That's got the right shoulder block, but backups are stretching north and south of that. And then we still have our crash on the exit to Brown Deer Road heading west from 43 North. Looks like work is being finished up on that, but there's still a handful of, looks like, emergency vehicles and squad cars cleaning things up there. So be mindful of that as well.
Here's a look at the WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, partly cloudy, windy, and warm. We have a high of 72 today. Wind gusts up to 35 miles per hour. So that rain, it's out of here. And I'm getting some fans writing in right now saying it's really warming up in the burbs. 53 right now in downtown Milwaukee. Tonight, we'll dip down to 54. Tomorrow, scattered showers, falling temps, high of 60. That's going to be early in the day. And then as the day goes on, we're going to fall into the 30s and 40s. Sunday, rain is likely, so keep that umbrella handy. We might even hear some thunder as well. High of 60 on Sunday, 40s to the north. Monday, for the Brewers opening day, Brewers home opener, few AM snow showers, breezy and cold. But remember last year? It rained. It rained. I'll take the snow on Monday. High of 39 on Monday, wind chills in the 20s. Tuesday, partly cloudy, and a high of 40.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Tighe, and in for Greg Metzik, it's Adam Roberts.
Happy Friday, everyone. We have such a mix for you today. We're talking Elon Musk. We're talking pickleball. Stories of the strange, of course, because it's Friday.
That's right. You only get it here on WTMJ. We cover all the bases, Brewers pun intended.
Let's get right to it.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Desperate times call for desperate measures when it comes to eggs.
With Easter approaching and bird flu still causing problems across the country, the U.S. Agriculture Department has reached out to Germany, Italy, Poland, and Sweden, asking if they can help out by sending any more eggs our way. Customs and Border Protection also says it's seen a 36% increase in people trying to bring eggs across the border. Regardless of rising prices, the CPB reminds you it is prohibited to bring fresh eggs, raw chicken, and chicken products into the country. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Send eggs, please.
I could hear that in Sherry's voice saying, hey, guys, remember, please don't do this.
Do you dye eggs for Easter?
We do. I've done it for years and years. It was a family tradition, like so many people this time of year. I could never quite get it right, though. They always seem to come out super light, and they weren't that deep, dark color.
Oh, gotta leave that egg in there longer.
I was too quick on the draw. I wanted to move. More eggs, more eggs, more eggs.
Or the vinegar, too. I love dyeing eggs for Easter. I think it's a lot of fun. But last time I was at the store in downtown Milwaukee, the egg inventory still very low. And the signs up saying you could only grab 2 cartons, looking a little old. So we've been dealing with this for a while now.
Yeah, I've still got those up. I volunteered at our local co-op grocery store, and I was stocking eggs just last night and did notice, we're starting to see the signs crumble a little bit, and that's a sign that, they've been up for a while and probably will remain up. Hey, a heads up if you're going to be traveling soon, especially if you suffer from seasonal allergies. It's almost that time of year. In fact, it is that time of year for some parts of the country, including the Northeast, where a pollen bomb is about to go off. More from ABC's Andrew Dimbert. He says, get ready.
Experts say a so-called pollen bomb is about to go off, triggering what could be the worst allergy season in the Northeast in years. It's caused by trees staying dormant longer than usual due to the cold winter. Now, as temperatures rise, trees are releasing their pollen all at once.
Excuse me. By the way, Claritin has some tips for you. Live Claritin clear, yada, yada, yada. They have a plan for if you're heading to the Northeast, but I'm not sure I agree with some of these ideas. Avoiding areas with freshly cut grass. I mean, it's kind of hard to do if you're just walking on the sidewalk in a neighborhood. This is the one I don't agree with, though. Avoiding outdoor activities before 10 a.m.
Oh.
So am I just supposed to stay in my Airbnb, shuttered in until 9:59, and then go out the door? I mean, come on, I'm not going to do that either.
Well, if you have it really bad. Some people do.
By the way, checking the pollen forecast for Wisconsin this year, looks like our peak will be in about late May, which is typical for tree pollen, and it is expected to be an average year for us in southeast Wisconsin. Parts of the Northwest going to be super high by the end of spring.
Musk is coming to Wisconsin, and he's bringing money. In the middle of the night, billionaire Elon Musk posted to X and said he's coming to Wisconsin on Sunday. Now, he didn't say exactly where in Wisconsin he'll be, but he did note entrance is limited to those who have voted in the Supreme Court election here in the state. Musk has poured millions into the Wisconsin Supreme Court race to back conservative candidate Brad Schimmel. Schimmel up against liberal Susan Crawford. Musk also said he will personally hand over 2 checks for $1 million each in appreciation of those taking the time to vote. Earlier this week, Musk announced he was giving $1 million to a Green Bay man for signing his petition against activist judges. Here's that guy.
My name is Scott Ainsworth. I'm a mechanical engineer. I live in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
During our last hour, we dove into who exactly this Green Bay guy is and what he plans to do with the $1 million he just got from Musk. If you missed it, check out Wisconsin's Midday News podcast, sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited. It's 12:14. Up next, we're talking about picklers.
On Wisconsin's Morning News, we profiled the average John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they got up one morning that they'd be saving a life, becoming everyday heroes.
There, yeah, she flew off the road right at a bridge, so she went down an embankment. No one could see her vehicle until a guy named Johnny Martinez happened to come by.
I said, "Ma'am, how long have you been here?" And she said, "I've been here since Wednesday night." And I said, "No, it's today's Tuesday."
Everyday Hero, Thursdays at 6:40. Presented by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
Gruber Law Office's Thanalysis Live is back March 29th at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Join Thanasis Antetokounmpo for a live show that's going to entertain fans like no other. Last year, Thanasis surprised his brother, MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo, with a surprise appearance from ESPN's Stephen A. Smith, so you never know what Thanasis is planned for this year. March 29th at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Thanalysis Live with Thanasis Antetokounmpo. Visit TALiveshow.com to get your tickets. Excitement and entertainment you can't get anywhere else. It's Gruber Law Office's Thanalysis Live, presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel and Carbless, featuring Brandon Jennings and a surprise guest. Also supported by the Prisoner Wine Company and McDonald's. TALiveshow.com.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Homebuyer Helper Brian Wickert. One of our senior loan consultants recently helped their first-time homebuyer client win over 13 other offers. Of course, it was a team effort with their buyer's agent, and it centered around helping our clients understand what little difference there was to their monthly payment to offer over the asking price. And again, what little difference it would make to give the sellers peace of mind that they'd still buy even if the appraisal came in up to $20,000 short. But that's not all. Our consultant also texted and called the listing agent to reinforce how well qualified our buyers were and that they could, in fact, still close even if the appraisal came in low. Your AccuNet consultant will help you understand your options so you can decide how aggressive you want to be. Then we do everything possible to help you win. Don't let someone else end up sleeping in your dream home. Know your options and get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
70 years ago, the Blaine brothers founded Blaine's Farm and Fleet as one of the nation's first retail stores to sell goods at a discount. And we've helped supply Midwest farms and families with quality products at unbeatable prices ever since. Like Rust-Oleum Stops Rust Paint, 10% off. 15-piece Milwaukee Combo Wrench Kits, $40 off. Save $130 on a Hobart 190 MIG welder. And Blaine's brand shop stools, $79.99. Find value on the things you value. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Picklers! They are popping up everywhere. Don't know what a pickler is?
No, I don't.
It's a pickleball player, especially somebody who just loves the sport.
Okay.
Now you know. The more you know. Well, this sport continues to grow in popularity, and it's showing here in southeastern Wisconsin. This weekend is the grand opening of Pickleball Kingdom in Menominee Falls. Ace Rodriguez, founder and CEO of Pickleball Kingdom, joins us live in the studio. And with a name like Ace, I feel like you were born for this.
I feel like that too. Believe it or not, I have to confess, it's a nickname that I've had for 35 years. So way before pickleball came into my life, but it shows it was meant to be.
So you fell in love with pickleball, just like many picklers do, but you also saw the downside, which is what prompted you to start Pickleball Kingdom. What did you discover?
You know, it's the old adage, scratch your own itch. You know, as soon as I started playing, I number one said, this is the greatest sport ever. Just the communal aspect. It's competitive as much as you want it to be, but you can't reserve a court. It's cold, it's hot, dirty courts, and it's windy. A pickleball is a wiffle ball, so no ball is affected more by wind in any sport than a pickleball. And I just thought there has to be a better way. If this were indoors, you could eliminate all those things. And really, Jessica, the big idea wasn't the idea of doing it. The big idea was how to execute that idea. I think 10,000 people thought of playing indoors before I did.
Sure.
We just put the system together.
Smart.
Well, you definitely executed. I'm looking at the pictures of the facility right now. For those who can't see, a lot of blues, a lot of yellows, and 17 courts on the inside. Now, when it comes to what people who attend and come to this venue, what can they expect? What unique attributes does this facility have that others don't?
Sure. So it's sort of like a great steakhouse. You're going to get steak. So pickleball's our steak.
I do like
the star
steak.
of the show. I do too. But what we believe in is giving people a great experience, Adam, both before and after they get on the court. Because once they're on the court, they don't want to be bothered, right? They want to have fun. They're friends. They're going to meet a lot of people. So we have a couple of ways that they can interact with each other. Or for the guy or gal who says, I want to play, but I can't wrangle 3 other people's schedules together. What am I going to do? We got beginner, intermediate, advanced courts. They'll meet people. Next thing you know, they got pickleball friends. And then we got beer and wine, a full bar. We got some light food options. So you can hang out and have a lot of fun all day.
This franchise you have is growing fast. I was checking out the website online. More than 140 locations planned here in the U.S., but you're going international too. Where are you headed?
Yeah. Well, thanks for asking that question. And I got to update you, Jessica. We have over 350 locations here in the United States that have already been paid for and are coming. And we got a couple of very big deals that haven't consummated, but I'll just say that we are going to be anywhere and everywhere very soon.
I read Abu Dhabi.
Yes.
Is that correct?
That is one of the serious discussions we're having.
So is there anything different about playing pickleball in a place like Abu Dhabi versus Menominee Falls, Wisconsin?
I think that's the beauty of building a franchise and a brand. Once you're playing, it won't be, but we're going to have a little flair at different places. So when you come to our Menominee Falls location, we have a tribute wall to the great Donald Driver. So he is, we have a literal all-pro ownership team of that club. Everyone knows Donald, but we got Greg Straub and Doug Regal, who are incredible business guys who've really been the legwork getting this thing started. So the 3 of them are making this club sing.
You know, Ace, as an outsider to the pickler world, I've been watching this popularity of the sport over the last few years. It really hit home for me, I think, this year during the Super Bowl when there was the Catherine O'Hara, Willem Dafoe ad. Play you for an ultra?
Yeah.
Bring it back a little bit, though. This initial surge in the sport, where did it originally begin? What caused it, or who?
Yeah. So there were 3 families out in Washington, the state of Washington, in Bainbridge Island. They literally created, it's sort of like we all did. At some point you create games and grab this, grab that. And they sort of made it up on their one of their driveways. And that was about 60 years ago. But it was just a little regional thing that not a lot of people heard about. I believe that COVID, maybe one of the only positive things that came out of that, was the explosion of pickleball. That's where I got introduced to it, a lot of other people, and it really took off from there. So ironically, too, next week I'll be in Washington. We're opening a Pickleball Kingdom right there, very close to where the birthplace of pickleball was. One of the families is donating some of the original paddles that they used.
Oh, wow.
And we're going to have a tribute wall to the founders of the sport of pickleball.
That is interesting. This is also interesting. You have a reality television show, Pickleball Paddle Battle?
Exactly. We're in editing right now. It's what I wanted to do, Jessica. I just thought someone's going to do. I love the show, The Ultimate Fighter.
Okay.
And, Dana White, what he did with the UFC to give guys a chance. And I said, someone needs to do that with pickleball. And then the little voice in my head heckled me, said, you idiot, that should be you. So I thought, okay, what should we do? And there's 4 dreams we're making come true. So there's a lot of men and women, just like in golf and tennis, they can play at the professional level. They just can't afford to. They can't pay for the travel, the hotel, just all the costs. So I said, all right, we can help them. We'll eliminate that. We're going to pay that for them. So 1 man, 1 woman, they're going to win by what they do on the court. So no voting. Their futures are in their hands. But there's a lot of other people like me who their dream is to have their sport be the business of pickleball. So I said, we're also going to give 2 franchises away to 1 man, 1 woman based on an audience vote. So the audience has their futures in their hands. And so those are the 4 dreams. So we already shot the show. I know who the 2 pro players are going to be. We haven't made that public, of course. The franchisees, I don't know either, because until we air it, then people will have a chance to vote.
I checked out the contestants. We've got to get somebody from Wisconsin if there's a season 2. Is there going to be a season 2?
Oh, there'll be many seasons, and I'm excited about it. We got some legs on this. We're eventually going to have Pickleball paddle battle spouses, where you got to be a husband and wife, and hopefully they're going to stay married after the show. Pickleball paddle battle siblings, brothers and sisters.
Oh, wow.
As we expand internationally, all the countries, and then a world championship. So yeah, it's going to be. I think it's going to be a big thing.
Season 2, top pickleball. I think about when you mentioned the idea of having to pay for equipment as you're going up through this professionally. I think about when I was young, having the equipment to learn how to play golf. Separate sport, but can get pretty expensive. It makes me think about pickleball youth programs. Where are we at now as a sport when it comes to growing that amongst the younger crowd?
Adam, that's one of our focuses, and it's just funny you should mention that. This morning in my hotel room, I was just reading an email from our Chandler Club about the youth program we're putting together. Children are the future, clearly. And when I first 4 years ago got introduced to pickleball, all I knew was, isn't that old man sport, that retired sport? And that was the stigma. Not the case today.
Yeah.
It's children, every age, every ethnicity. Men and women can play together. That's just not normal in most physical sports. So it's really the inclusive sport. And we have a lot of leagues, a lot of tournaments now for everybody, but also children and youth.
So what's on tap this weekend for the grand opening of Pickleball Kingdom in Menominee Falls? And for people who don't know, where exactly is the location?
So they can go to our website. Sorry, I haven't memorized the address, but they can sign up to come and play for free. We got a lot of big events, and I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. Donald Driver is going to be there, shaking hands, taking pictures. If you haven't met him, everyone knows him probably from afar. The guy is just the most warm, humble, inviting person you can meet.
He is.
I'm also going to pull the drapes back a little more. If you ever want to take a picture next to the Lombardi Trophy or the Mirror Ball Trophy from Dancing with the Stars, well, you need to come check out Pickleball Kingdom in Menominee Falls.
That sounds like a blast.
It's in the former Multicolor Corps building, for those who are listening. If you remember that, it's north of Silver Spring, just off the freeway.
Thank you.
Perfect. That is Ace Rodriguez, founder and CEO of Pickleball Kingdom. Thanks for being here, and
Absolutely.
have a blast this weekend.
My pleasure, guys. Thank you.
12:26 is the time. Your top local news and national headlines coming up next.
Painting your house is a big job. You want it done right. John Mercure here. Do what I did. Go with the professionals, the best in the business at Certa Pro Painters. They do inside, they do outside, and they do it right every single time. As a matter of fact, right now, they've got a spring sales event going on through May 15th. Each Certa Pro Painters business is independently owned and operated, and they do everything the right way. Schedule your free estimate online right now at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose Certa Pro Painters.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. Dr. Nausheen Abbas joined the Holtebeck Eye Center team last September, and her practice philosophy is to provide patient-centered medicine by giving all options. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol. Learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Kristen Bry. If you're looking for a new dentist, you should check out my dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Economwalk Dental Care. Dr. Michaels is committed to providing you with the highest level of care possible. I can assure you that he will prioritize your needs no matter how sensitive, just like he did with mine. If you're due for a dental visit, Economwalk Dental Care has an $89 new patient special, so you can get the care that you need at an affordable price. In addition to my exam, Dr. Michael's staff provided a gentle, professional cleaning that left my mouth feeling smooth and rejuvenated. Listen, we all have to go to the dentist, so do not put it off any longer. Check out Economwalk Dental Care at drmichaelsdentalcare.com or give them a call at 262-567-7224. Start 2025 on a good note by feeling confident about your smile and go see my dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Economwalk Dental Care.
Now, about your house. Eric Brown is the president of Siding Unlimited, your contractor for new windows, roofing, siding, decks, and a whole lot more. He knows about your house. So what do you know, Eric?
Siding is what pops on your home. Clean lines, beautiful accents, and wonderful colors can make your home really look amazing. Homeowners are always looking to add curb appeal when buying new siding, and a well-installed product from Siding Unlimited will definitely deliver a grand appeal. There is so much more to gain from replacing your siding other than the curb appeal you're already seeking. There is so much value in having new siding with low maintenance. Just an annual cleaning with the hose is all you really need to do. You can't get much lower maintenance than that. The process of replacing siding gives homeowners a fresh start, a new understanding knowing that we can peel back the old stuff and get a real in-depth inspection on the walls on your home and the structural integrity. How has the home performed over the past 20 years? We'll see it all when removing the old siding. There's a high percentage your home is missing the most important factor in siding a home, and that's a working water barrier. Many homes built in the 1990s and prior don't have a water barrier beneath the siding, and homes that were built in the 90s that do have one probably have a water barrier that was installed incorrectly. New siding replacement assures us that we install the water barrier correctly and protect the home moving forward. Our process always includes adding insulation board to the wall. This gives you a water barrier underlayment and additional R value, which is an energy coefficient, so warmer walls, adding more value to the project than the expected curb appeal. As the new siding goes back on, we know your home will be ready to manage water well into the future and look amazing doing so.
Eric and his crews at Siding Unlimited are your go-to contractor here for siding and also replacement windows, roofing, and decks. Take the next step. Check them out at sidingunlimited.com. Siding Unlimited, siding and a whole lot more.
It's 12:30. I'm Jessica Tighe. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, March 28th. Your top story, Elon Musk says he's coming to Wisconsin.
I'm Adam Roberts, a convicted felon heading back to court.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. Wall Street indexes are on a downer right now as a new report shows consumer sentiment dipping to its lowest level since 2022. ABC News business correspondent Alexis Christoforous.
The market has had so much to digest, and then the auto tariffs yesterday from President Trump. So we've got the Dow down more than 500 points, and the NASDAQ continues to take a big hit percentage-wise. When you look at the overall market, it's the tech stocks that have actually been falling the most.
The Trump administration asking the Supreme Court for a fast ruling to allow more deportations of alleged Venezuelan criminals under the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. A reprieve for the Voice of America from a federal judge in Manhattan temporarily blocking the Trump administration from making deep cuts to the agency which runs VOA. Skyscrapers crashed to the ground in Bangkok and over 140 people are dead from a 7.7 magnitude earthquake rocking Southeast Asia. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:31.
A man from Green Bay is $1 million richer thanks to Elon Musk. Scott Ainsworth received the money after signing a petition against activist judges funded by Musk's Political Action Committee. And this just in, 2 minutes ago, Elon Musk tweeted, because earlier we told you about this tweet that he made in the middle of the night while most of you were sleeping, saying that he was coming to Wisconsin on Sunday. Well, 2 minutes ago, he just tweeted, on Sunday night, I will give a talk in Wisconsin. To clarify a previous post, entrance is limited to those who have signed the petition in opposition to activist judges. He says he will hand over checks for $1 million to two people to be spokespeople for that petition. The tech billionaire, by the way, backing Brad Schimmel, the state Supreme Court race against Susan Crawford.
In Milwaukee, 3 public schools remain closed as lead remediation efforts continue. The health department and MPS closing Starms Early Childhood Center, Fernwood Montessori, and La Follette School back on March 17th. All 3 of those schools in different stages of painting and deep cleaning, which is expected to continue next week. Now, because Fernwood and La Follette both serve as polling locations for April 1st's election, the Election Commission in Milwaukee will move voters to newer areas of those buildings away from the affected spaces. Remediation and cleaning work will be paused on Election Day.
Decision Wisconsin. A need to keep teachers here in Wisconsin. State Superintendent candidate Brittany Kinzer.
Alternative educator preparation pathways are essential to increasing the number of high-quality teachers in our schools. I'm open to collaborating with various groups and learning from other states that have implemented successful programs.
And incumbent Dr. Jill Underly.
We need to make sure that we are paying our staff what they are worth. I mean, it's a commitment to valuing and supporting the entire teaching profession. Teachers are the backbone of our schools, and they deserve more than just gratitude.
Voters will choose the state superintendent coming up on Tuesday's
I
election.
am going to give him a $1 million bail. I believe that that's appropriate.
That bail set for the Waukesha teenager accused of killing his parents and then fleeing to Kansas. 17-year-old Nikita Kasap faces 9 felony charges, including first-degree intentional homicide and hiding a corpse in the deaths of his mom, Tatiana Kasap, and stepfather, Donald Meyer, in February. Assistant District Attorney Brooke Schultz.
The state does believe he's an extreme flight risk here. He was found in Kansas with victim A and victim B's property. He has been speaking with someone in Russian about moving to Ukraine after committing these crimes. So the state is concerned that he's a flight risk if he is ever released.
Kasap returns to court April 9th.
An update on the Bucks and our Brewers ahead. Sports, traffic, and weather right after this. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:34.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Hey, it's Lent. That's right. The Lenten season is here. Experience the fabulous Friday Fish Fry at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club. WTMJ's John Merck here. I love the Fox and Hounds Fish Fry. It's all you can eat. It's one of the best, and it's always fantastic service. All other dinners are buy one, get one free tonight and this weekend. The pan-fried walleye, salmon, scallops, pasta, a big fresh salad, even steak and lobster, your second dinner's free. Desserts and huge ice cream drinks, I love the Brandy Alexanders, are buy one, get one free. Unwind with an old-fashioned, there's over 20 bourbons and 100 fine wines, unique dining rooms with fireplaces. The Fox and Hound sits in the Kettle Moraine Forest. The scenery is spectacular. It's a Wisconsin must-see, and your second dinner's free. Saturday, your second prime rib dinner is free. So check out the Friday Lenten Fish Fry. All other dinners are buy one, get one free. Just off Highway 167 near Holy Hill. Call and reserve at one of my favorite spots, the Fox and Hounds.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. A bummer to start the season for the Brewers. We've got a long road ahead, though. The Brewers lost 4-2 on opening day to the Yankees. A quick day off today before resuming the series tomorrow in the Bronx. And the Milwaukee Bucks are back in action at home tonight, taking on the Knicks. The Bucks are coming off a big loss to the Nuggets and slipped to 6 in the Eastern Conference. Our coverage starts tonight with Bucks shoot-around at 6.
Looking at the roads now, your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. We are still working on this crash on the ramp from Forest Home to 894 East. All cameras are off in this area. Now, that is from earlier this morning, the cameras being off, that is. However, the backups for this are now stretching north of Beloit Road close to Oklahoma Avenue as you round and head east through the Hale. So again, on the ramp from Forest Home to 894 East is where this crash is at. Also still working on the crash that's blocking the right shoulder on 94 North near Holt, and a fresh accident just into the board on the Brewers Boulevard right before you head on to I-94 East, right lane blocked heading north on Brewers Boulevard. That is due to a crash there, and some backups now through 94 west of the stadium all the way back to 76th Street and then east to 35th.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast today. Partly cloudy, windy, and warm. We have a high of 72 today. Those winds gusting up to 35 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, very mild and windy. We'll dip down to 54 for our low. Tomorrow, scattered showers and falling temps. We have a high of 60, but we're going to hit that early tomorrow. And then the temps are going to fall into the 30s and 40s by early afternoon. Rain is likely on Sunday. You might even hear some thunder. High of 60 on Sunday. Monday for the Brewers home opener. You might see a little bit of snow. It's going to be breezy and cold, high of 39, wind chills in the 20s. Tuesday, partly cloudy, and a high of 40. We're now up to 60 in downtown Milwaukee. Talk about the power of a podcast. The car of an Illinois woman missing since 1983, more than 40 years ago, was just found after the story was featured on a podcast about cold cases. ABC's Jim Ryan joins us with the details. Jim, can you walk us through this case first? Who was Karen Scheepers and what happened to her?
Well, she was a 23-year-old executive living in the Chicago area. Karen Scheepers was 23 years old, and she left a bar one Friday night 42 years ago in her canary yellow Toyota Celica 1980 model. That was it. Nobody heard from her after that. For years and years and years. Nobody really knew what happened to her. The case went cold. The clues, the tips dried up, and eventually the Elgin, Illinois Police Department, this is about 35 miles northwest of Chicago, opened up a cold case unit. And it also began a podcast called the Somebody Knows Something podcast. And one of the first cases that it looked at was the Karen Scheepers case. And so, yeah, it may be coincidence that the podcast was just started and that the cold case unit was just opened up within the last year. Maybe not, because the podcast explored 6 or 7 different theories. One of them being that a serial killer had gotten a hold of Karen Scheepers. One, that she maybe had that icy conditions that night caused her to lose control of her car, and she ended up in a body of water somewhere. Well, it turned out that latter was the truth. Earlier this week, a canary yellow, or what appeared to have once been a canary yellow 1980 Toyota Celica was found in the Fox River near Elgin. There were skeletal remains inside there. The coroner just last night, ruled that those were the remains of Karen Scheepers. So we know essentially what happened to her, but why? That's the next step, to try to determine whether something else led to her cause of death.
Yeah, are there any suspects in the case?
No. Not really. And it looks as though it may have just been an accident. You know, they've gone back to the family members of Karen Scheepers have been gratified and surprised at how thorough the police have been. They say that up until about last year, they really couldn't get much in terms of a response from the police department to this old cold case. But the police since then, they've gone back and they've looked at the phases of the moon for that date when she went missing. They've looked at the weather conditions to see, they wanted to know the moon phase to see what the lighting was like that night. She left a bar at about 1 o'clock in the morning. She'd been there with about 20 co-workers, and it was dark that night. They also know that there was an unusual cold snap that evening, and that the surface may have been frozen, the road surface, and that she probably lost control and ended up in the Fox River.
I wonder how intact that car was after being submerged for 42 years. Yeah. How did they match it to her?
By the plate. It still had the license plate on it. And they were able to look at the vehicle identification number, the VIN, and verify that it was, in fact, that Toyota Celica that disappeared and that it belonged to Karen Scheepers. The next step then, of course, was probably what people might have thought was obvious, and that was determining that the skeletal remains inside were those of Karen Scheepers. That job has been done now. Next up is the really difficult forensic task of determining whether she died by some means other than either drowning or blunt force trauma from a car accident.
Were there a lot of people listening to this podcast? Were people really getting into this one? Because a lot of times you see that there's a podcast and all of a sudden you have people who at home are just diving in and they're doing their own research.
It was really a well-done podcast. I mean, the Elgin Police Department. Elgin is a town of about 100,000. Even at that size, it's about the 6th largest community in Illinois. So a fairly good-sized department, but this really slick podcast was being offered, I think, on Spotify. And it very methodically looked at the potential scenarios of how Karen Scheepers might have disappeared. They used voice actors. They used, they used archival footage and news reports from all those years ago.
Nice.
So, and whether that was what led to this isn't really clear. But one of the possibilities they looked at was this idea that maybe she ended up in a body of water. So they began a search of the Fox River, and sure enough, they found this car.
I'm curious, do you listen to any podcasts? They're so popular these days. It feels like everybody has a podcast.
They are. I mean, some of the true crime stories or true crime podcasts are really fun and interesting to listen to. There's a great one that I was listening to, Video Rental, I think it's what it was called, with the guy from The Office.
Okay.
Not Vin Raines, but Rainn Wilson. And it's very funny. It's fun to listen to. But no, I really haven't gotten into podcasts. Probably should. We have an excellent one with ABC called Start Here.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, see, we have Wisconsin's Midday News podcast. I know a lot of people listen to that one. In the mornings when I'm getting ready, sometimes I'll listen to the Daily, the New York Times. They always just seem to have fascinating discussions on there. But yeah, podcasts, it's a whole new realm. And here we go. It's helping crack this cold case in Illinois from more than 40 years ago. Fascinating story, Jim. We appreciate it.
All right.
Talk next week.
See you, Jessica.
Stories of the Strange. Coming up next, it's 12:44.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Homebuyer Helper Brian Wickert. One of our senior loan consultants recently helped their first-time homebuyer client win over 13 other offers. Of course, it was a team effort with their buyer's agent, and it centered around helping our clients understand what little difference there was to their monthly payment to offer over the asking price. And again, what little difference it would make to give the sellers peace of mind that they'd still buy even if the appraisal came in up to $20,000 short. But that's not all. Our consultant also texted and called the listing agent to reinforce how well qualified our buyers were and that they could, in fact, still close even if the appraisal came in low. Your AccuNet consultant will help you understand your options so you can decide how aggressive you want to be. Then we do everything possible to help you win. Don't let someone else end up sleeping in your dream home. Know your options and get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Built Right. One location saves you money.
You gotta get to Built Right today. You can't beat Bernhardt.
Sports lovers love us.
So he said to me, boy, oh boy, do you got the boulders. And I said, you betcha. And he said, do you mind if I cherry pick? And I said, feel free. They're all beautiful and they're all granite. Sparkling pinks, blues, and grays from 4 to 36 inches. And they're all priced right because we buy direct from the source nationwide to give you the look you want. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. Well, if you need flagstone for your new natural patio, Erickson's is the place to find it. We have the largest selection and 15 styles to choose from. And for decorative stone, Erickson's is your best choice. Our decorative stone is trucked in from all over the country. We buy straight from the quarry and cut out the middleman to keep your prices nice and low. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for QC Kinetics. You know, I get a lot of questions about QC Kinetics treatments, people asking if they should consider it for their own joint pain. Well, here's how you know. If you answer yes to any of these questions. Is your quality of life impacted by chronic pain in your knees or hips or shoulders or other joints, trouble sleeping or walking? Do you want to avoid surgery, a long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? And most importantly, do you miss doing the things you love because joint pain is holding you back? If you answered yes to any of these questions, don't wait. Call now. Call QC Kinetics and ask for your free consultation and learn how the latest advances in regenerative medicine can help you get lasting relief. No drugs, no surgery, no downtime. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
It's Friday, which means it's time for Stories of the Strange on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Wait until you hear this one. A communion wafer that turned red had an entire congregation in Morris, Indiana, thinking it was a miracle.
What?
Turned out it was actually gross.
All right, let's find out more.
The archdiocese had the wafer tested at a lab, and it turns out the red stuff was not the blood of Christ. You know what it was?
What was it?
It was a colony of bacteria that usually turns up when people don't wash their hands.
That's so gross.
So the only miracle they're hoping for now is that everyone at St. Anthony's Church starts washing their hands or using some hand sanitizer.
Yeah, where were they 5 years ago when every other commercial was 20 seconds, wash your hands, 20 seconds,
Right.
make sure it's 20 seconds.
Sing happy birthday. Well, I laughed that this was unusual enough for a formal inspection. So the Archdiocese is like, we have to have this tested, and they took it to a lab. They found fungus in 3 different species of bacteria, all of which are commonly found on human hands.
Right.
But the Catholic faith, it teaches that wine and a bread wafer signify the body and blood of Jesus Christ. So you had a lot of people who were thinking, oh my gosh, this is a miracle. I guess the host with red marks had fallen out of a mass kit at St. Anthony Church.
It's no Abraham Lincoln on a French fry, but I guess it'll do.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I remember that. But before the analysis, a lot of people at this church, they were so excited because they thought this could be a miracle. They couldn't wait to see what would happen, what might be found out about it. And this is a little town in Indiana. Yeah, I guess you can drive through it and blink and you're gone.
Sure.
So they said, a lot of people in town were like, this means the world. It was something special about their church, they thought. So they thought. But it wasn't really special at all. It was just gross.
Bacteria. Amen. Well, so for my story, Jessica, this is actually involving the old adage of you learn something new every day. We hear that all the time, right?
Yeah.
Well, I learned something today about our producer, Gina, who's working for us on the show. I learned that when Gina was young and growing up watching all the movies that you do when you're a young kid, apparently Gina was, and probably still is, terrified of the title character from the 1982 Steven Spielberg movie, E.T. Well, if any one of Gina's immediate friends and family are doing some early Christmas shopping, in late March, maybe you ought to look to Sotheby's because E.T. is looking for a new home to phone.
An original model from Steven Spielberg's 1982 classic hit movie is up for auction at Sotheby's, and it's estimated to reach nearly $1 million. It is one of only 3 used during the making of the film and stands just over 3 feet tall. The model starred in the iconic closet scene where E.T. disguises himself among stuffed animals.
This model comes from the personal collection of an Academy Award-winning special effects and makeup effects master, Carlo Rambaldi. It's up right now on our YouTube stream if you text WATCH to 855-616-1620. And my first thought when I saw this looks like it got ripped straight out of Madame Tussauds Wax Museum in New York.
It's shiny, very shiny.
Where I'm sure Rick Schlesinger is enjoying a cup of coffee touring through all the wax museums on the Brewers off day. Yeah, you can check this thing out. It's very ugly, very gross. Now, Gina, are there any other scary movie characters I need to be aware of so that I can do another Stories of the Strange later on this year?
Ooh, that's a great question. I'm going to have to get back to you because this was my number 1 when I was little.
So my mom was horrified of the flying monkeys from The Wizard of Oz in 1939. But this is a new thing I learned about Gina, and it's just a reminder, you got to be careful what you say 5 minutes before the show because I will use it against you.
Oh, jump scare for sure.
Gremlins. What about the Gremlins? Do you know the Gremlins, or are you too young for the Gremlins?
No, we watch Gremlins. Don't feed them after midnight, yada, yada,
I thought
yada.
those were creepy.
You know what I really dislike? Furbies. That was more from when I was a young kid. The Furby little dolls with the eyes. They look like little mini birds.
I
but
thought
the
those
eyes
were supposed to be cute.
Well, supposed to be and actually are very different things. By the way, again, $1 million. This model could be yours, or it could be Gina's Christmas present.
Yeah, this one's very shiny and looks a little surprised, maybe. That look? E.T. looks surprised, I think, in this one.
Yeah, a little spooked by something.
Right here.
There's 3 things guaranteed in life: death, taxes, and New Yorkers being sad about the Knicks.
Well, the Knicks lost. It's sad, really. They had a real shot. Then, out of nowhere, game over.
Tonight, the Bucks host the Knicks at Fiserv Forum.
The Knicks didn't deserve my love to begin with.
Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage begins at 6:30. We are the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
Is outdoor living limited at your place? Well, imagine a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, maybe even an outdoor kitchen in your yard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is a local, family-owned company that consults, designs, and builds these things. They're the best. Let them make outdoor living unlimited in your yard like they did in ours. We are Wisconsin. We live outdoors as much as possible. Make the most of it with help from Outdoor Living Unlimited. See OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Your basement. Ooh, wall cracks. Oh no, seepage. And stains on the bottom of those walls. Terrifying. The only thing scarier than basement issues are businesses that prey on your fear over those terrifying foundational cracks. The team at Gatish Foundation never uses high-pressure sales tactics. Over 90% of Gatish Foundation's jobs are through referrals. So, for an honest opinion on the condition of your basement, call Gatish Foundation today. Spelled G-A-I-Dish. Gatish.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Okay, I was all set to share with you a story about the Share a Coke campaign. Do you remember that? The campaign turned the brand's bottles and cans into personalized keepsakes back in the day because they featured, instead of the logo, it was your name.
Oh, yeah.
I remember being
that.
in the biz and, like, you know, to try to rev things up, they'll send you some stuff. And so we got these Coke cans, and mine said Jessica. So in a nutshell, I found a better story, but I want to tell you about that one too, because they're now reviving that. And it's going to gain some attention. They're looking to, there's nostalgia in that for older people, and then trying to gain a little bit of momentum for the younger people. But here's why I want to let you know about this story instead, because this is going to impact a lot of people. Your office coffee may be harmful to your health.
Uh-oh.
CBS's Stacey Lynn reports.
While your workplace coffee machine is likely not putting out the best cup of joe.
Espresso?
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Is that from the machine that was in your office?
Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's all you got. But according to a new study out of Sweden, it may be really bad for you. Researchers compared office coffee machines with home brewing methods that use paper filters and presses. They found the poorly filtered office coffee had high levels of bad cholesterol, which can cause plaque buildup in the arteries and lead to heart disease, stroke, and other health problems. Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
Yikes.
Well, that's no good.
High levels of bad cholesterol, which can cause plaque buildup in the arteries and lead to heart disease, stroke, and other health problems. Sometimes after the show, I go over to our coffee machine and I get a vanilla latte.
Love
and
those.
I think today I won't be doing that.
Well, I'm already through about 80% of the coffee I poured earlier this morning, so I may need to make a visit to someone after the show.
And producer Gina, when I told you, I got in your ear and said, hey, I'm going to change this real quick. I'm going to change stories, and it's going to be about your office coffee. What was your reaction?
I was excited. Now a little less excited.
Yeah, your face looks like...
Went down real fast.
Oh, gosh. Well, the more you know. We always try to inform here in Wisconsin's Midday News, so think about that the next time you're going for that second cup of coffee at work. You might not want to. Thanks so much for joining us. We had a packed show. If you missed any of it, you can always join us. Check it out on Wisconsin's podcast, Wisconsin's Midday News podcast. Monday, we're switching things up because we've got the Brewers home opener. So you won't hear us, but you will hear the game. That's going to be a lot of fun. And prepare for possibly some snow.
Prepare now.
It's going to be fun, though, no matter what. And hey, I think at least it is better than the rain that we had last year.
1,000 billion%.
Have a fabulous weekend, everybody. Your news is coming up next.
Before you go looking for an area rug that you'll have to settle for because you think that the one you really want will be out of your budget, come to Design Exchange, where you'll find a formidable selection of Oriental, Persian, and other wool area rug choices at 25 to 70% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland,